Severe weather is intensifying
by knowing what's coming overhead. And we're Atlanta's traffic expert.
We've seen delays almost 30 minutes worth of
helps you get there on time, every time. 11 Alive Morning News is where you start the day prepared. Watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
News happens fast. Stream it faster. 11 Alive News is now.
Or any thunderstorms at all, but we have rain and just rounds of it continue to push right on through, and that's what we're going to continue to see as we head through the rest of the morning. We'll be dealing with that heavy rain at times. It has been heaviest up here to the north, as you can see, where we had a lot of that yellow, some of those oranges in there. The yellow would be moderate rain coming down. That orange would be some very heavy rain. You can see that over toward Helen and White County here, from Helen down through Mossy Creek. I've been mentioning them all morning long as we've been having these rounds of very moderate to heavy rain coming in. Where you see this green here, that's where we have the light steady rain at least coming down. It has been widespread up here to the north and up to the east. You head further down toward the city, it gets a little bit lighter in the northern suburbs, but you head down toward the city now, we do have some heavy rain. In fact, we were just hearing some very heavy rain just above our heads here in our Midtown studios. Now, you can see that heavy rain continuing in southern portions of Cobb County, so over toward Mapleton, Austell, you got some very heavy rain coming down. Northern parts of Douglas County as well. In Douglasville, you got some heavy rain there. Again, no lightning strikes associated with any of that at all. The rain is just heavy at times, and we'll roll on through. You'll catch a little bit of a break, and then more rain comes back to us, and that's the way it's been as we have been heading through the morning. Now, the threat for severe weather continues as a front is still back off to the west of us. As that front moves a little bit closer to the area, we could see some of those thunderstorms fire back up again, and it really depends, well, a lot of things it depends on. One is how stable will the atmosphere be? Did this rain really work over the atmosphere so that as that line begins to push it a little closer to our area, it starts to destabilize and just stays as some scattered showers? Or will we get some breaks in the clouds to add some heat to it? That would mean that some thunderstorms will really start to fire back up. You notice we have that level 1 threat that continues for our northwestern counties over here to the west as well. It goes all the way to the city of Atlanta. That's a level 1 threat, or a marginal risk for severe weather. Just to the south and east of the city, that's where we have this yellow area, Athens down through Macon. That's a level 2 threat, a slight risk for severe weather. It's in this area here particularly that we could see some very damaging winds up to about 60 miles per hour in a few of those thunderstorms, and we cannot rule out hail or even a brief tornado is certainly possible. How long will that threat be around? Well, I'm thinking at least through about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. It really depends on the timing of the front as it pushes through the area, but certainly after 4 or 5 o'clock, we should start to see some of the clouds even breaking down and get some sunshine back into the forecast area. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson is with me this morning, and he's also talking about the rain.
Yeah, Chesley, a lot of heavy rainfall that we've had here over these last few hours, and that seems to be the big story for today, at least for right now, until we get some of those stronger storms possible in the latter part of this morning and into this afternoon. For those morning commuters, a lot of heavy shower activity right around the northwestern corner of the perimeter at the moment, and that's where we've had a lot of our heavier amounts of rain, kind of from the northwest corner of the perimeter all the way up through northwest portions of Georgia. You see those areas lit up in blue there. That's where we've had about a half of an inch, some areas even up towards 3/4 to a full inch of rain. A closer look down into kind of western areas of North Georgia here, closer on towards Buchanan. 3 inches of rain nearly. That's kind of the highest total that we've had so far, and I think that we're going to have a little bit higher totals possible as we make our way throughout the next few hours here. Closer on towards Cedartown, you have about 1.25 inches. Up towards Dallas, you have just over 3/4 of an inch, and then down towards Bremen and kind of western areas just there along that I-20 corridor, nearly 1 inch of rain. Looking closer on up towards Woodstock, they've now had more than 1 inch of rain, 3/4 of an inch when you get closer on there towards Town Center, right around Ernest Bear Parkway. 3/4 of an inch or more as we get closer on towards Cartersville and you get down towards Mapleton, just about 1/2 of an inch of rain. But we have heavy rain occurring there at this moment, so I'll let you know some of these totals are going to go even higher here. Down towards East Point, getting closer on towards College Park, down towards Riverdale, and even over towards Union City, we all have about 1/4 of an inch in each of those locations. Just had another good round of rain go in through there, so we're likely going to see those numbers go up even higher here. Now, we're not going to see too much additional rainfall as we head into this afternoon, other than some of those isolated thunderstorms that could put down some heavy rainfall at times. But we could be talking more about a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 of an inch more of rainfall here as we hit throughout this afternoon. And you'll notice this is for the next 3 days. You know, we get through today, it's actually going to be pretty nice. A lot drier conditions expected to move in, and a lot quieter conditions too. We just got to get through some of these thunderstorms out there, Chesley, and then we'll finally get a little bit of a break and a little bit of cooler air back in here.
Oh, absolutely. Can't wait for that, right? We talked about this starting at the beginning of the week. We knew today would be the day where we'd have that heavy rain begin to push in. Really our only day for rain this week, and the potential for some severe weather. Now, the timing played in our favor, right? Because those storms came in through the overnight going into this morning, lost a lot of the daytime heating, and so we saw those thunderstorms really start to fall apart as they began to move into our area. So that's what we're dealing with, folks. The rain, unfortunately, is going to be around at least through noon. It is a bit of a nuisance for us, so we'll have to deal with it. We'll see some scattered or isolated showers around the noon hour, and it's there where, again, that front pushes through where we could see some strong winds with a few of those thunderstorms that move into the area. By 4 o'clock, we're going to reach our daytime high of 74 degrees. The clouds will start to break up, so we'll get some sunshine in before it sets today. Partly cloudy skies by 7, looking at 70. Even clear in some spots. That will be it. As Andrew mentioned, tomorrow we're looking at temperatures a little bit cooler. We got a front that's going to push through, that's bringing all this rain, and so we'll see those temperatures begin to fall down just a little bit there. Friday, looking at 63 degrees for a high temperature. Got another little dry front that's going to come through, just reinforcing that cool shot of air. So even though over the weekend we'll have mostly sunny skies, temperatures will remain in the low 60s. So we have 9s on the whizometer. We'll finally get back to those 70s as we head into the beginning of next week. And look at Tuesday, 78 degrees for a high temperature. Crash Clark has been monitoring the roads out there. Crash, how's it looking right now?
Well, you know, we started out with just red alert after red alert after red alert, and most of it involved jackknife tractor trailers. One tractor trailer went right off the road into the tree. Opened up all lanes. Everything is clear, but obviously a lot of traffic built up for folks making their way from Bartow into Cobb County. Highway 41 Cobb Parkway will give you some assistance there. It's kind of like a coin flip because you're going to have delays on both sides there. All right, the injury wreck basically cleared. They still partially block a right lane. 285 westbound past Ashford Dunwoody Road. Next to that, we had a wreck 285 eastbound near Georgia 400. So a little bit of a creep and crawl across the top end through Sandy Springs. But again, I don't think you're going to be in bad shape there. Now, the only thing we're going to start seeing is more problems out on the roadways as far as the volume picking up. 75, we did have northbound trouble near Barrett Parkway. Southbounders from Barrett Parkway to the perimeter, you're looking at about 14 minutes. That's not bad. 400 southbound, we did have a spin out near Windward Parkway. That too is being cleared out of the way. And 85 south, we did have some delays for folks out of Gwinnett County. In fact, when I talk about delays, there are your delays. That's 85 coming down from 316 towards the perimeter. All right, speaking of I-85, Brittany Klein-Peter has been in the Thunder truck all morning, giving us a live look at the roads. That's what we do. When those choppers don't go up, we hit the streets. Now, Brittany, I know you're on 85. Are you heading north or south? Because southbound, you're about to hit some pretty heavy delays.
We are headed southbound, so we just made that loop to turn around, and we are seeing a little bit more congestion out here, but I don't think we've hit that jam up that you're talking about, Crash, just yet. We are seeing that still light to moderate rain as well as those pockets. We haven't seen a heavy one in a while, so that's the good news. Going northbound, it remained about the same. It was just that light kind of misting. We're seeing a lot of rain being kicked up by these passing vehicles. And we have not seen any lightning so far this morning. Just a lot of mist and feeling a little wind in the truck as well. Crash?
All right, Brittany Klein-Peter in the Thunder truck. Now, folks, that volume that I'm talking about here along 85 South as you roll from Gwinnett into DeKalb County. So again, as I keep mentioning, we got a lot of rush hour to go. Chesley, do we have a lot of rain to go? Kind of going to be on and off all day, or?
Rest of the day, Crash, yeah, we'll be dealing with it, unfortunately. I know that's going to be an issue for a lot of people, unfortunately, at least. So here you're looking at it, once again, that rain. And again, we have some moderate pockets here and there at least, and so we'll continue to watch that. So far, the rain has been, that's all it's been, at least for so far this morning. It's just been the rain that we've been dealing with. Again, we had those thunderstorms back off to the west of us, but began to lose some of that strength through the overnight. And we were thinking that would happen, obviously, because of the timing that this system was rolling through our particular area. Now, the threat, though, for the severe weather is not over with because the front itself is back off to the west of us. This is all ahead of the front, all the activity ahead of the front, and was pretty strong back off to our west. Now we're starting to see that weaken just a little bit. Now, refiring back up. We've been talking about that, and so the threat for the severe weather will linger at least into this afternoon. Part of that has to do with the front itself, but then what takes place over our area. Now, this rain coming through, it could have cooled off the atmosphere. It could leave it cool. It really depends on how much the clouds break up, how much heating we'll receive, what kind of instability will be around the area once we get to the afternoon. Those are all the questions and things that we'll be watching as we head through the afternoon to see if those thunderstorms happen to fire back up. You can see this line already starting to form here over into Alabama. Again, could strengthen as it moves in, and so we'll be watching that. But again, what won't happen until we get toward mid-morning into early afternoon. So that's what we'll have to watch out for. Again, the heavy rain right now is up here to the north. You can see it just north of Helen, where you have this huge area of orange in here, some red pockets in there indicating that very heavy rain. Again, no lightning strikes associated with it. South of Helen down toward Mossy Creek as well, so all of White County just about saturated with that moderate rain coming down. Such that your rain is light, but just south of you got a little moderate pocket, some heavy rain there. That will continue to lift it further off to the north. Once you make your way down into Dawson County, Juneau, you're not seeing much in the way of rainfall. You probably got some areas of drizzle. Heavy rain now pushing further up to the north over toward North Fulton County, so Roswell, Alpharetta, you'll be seeing some of this heavy rain momentarily. Again, no lightning strikes associated with it. Just north of the city of Atlanta is where you'll find that moderate rain, and over toward the west as well. But in the city itself and around the perimeter, I will say within the perimeter, you're not looking at heavy rain, but it's steady light rain, and we've been hearing it here in our Midtown studios over our heads. Down toward Union City, the rain gets light. Down toward Peachtree City, a little bit further down to the south, you'll find where the rain has begun to subside there. But over toward Carrollton, you got a little heavy pocket there. We had that heavy rain push through this area not long ago, and so there's a new scan as it continues to push to the north. You can see where over toward the Roswell area right now, you got that moderate rain coming down, but you make your way into southern parts of Cobb County. It's on the moderate side. You got some moderate pockets as you make your way further into northern parts of Cobb County. Paulding County, your rain is light. Again, Torrance, Carroll, your rain is light as well. There's that line we're talking about, the front itself back off to the west. So again, along the front, typically is where we can see some rain begin to pop back up. And again, it's really depending on what takes place over us as we head into the early afternoon that we could see this line fire back up, which means that we could see some pretty gusty winds along with a few of those thunderstorms that happen to roll into the area. Now, we're not going to see widespread severe weather at all like this system brought out to the west. We showed you the tornado video, especially over toward New Orleans last night. We had video from Texas the day before. Not as strong of a system as it moves towards us as we head into the afternoon. So really isolated severe thunderstorms is more of the story for us this afternoon, more so than that widespread that we saw out into the Midwest, over toward the west rather. Notice we only have a severe thunderstorm warning well down south of Columbus. That's the only game in town right now. We did have a couple tornado warnings over the panhandle of Florida as well. So most of that activity has been well south of us so far this morning, where we've just been seeing the rain, and that continues as we head into will be around at least for the rest of the morning. Once we get to mid-morning into the afternoon, that's when we'll start to pay more attention to the possibility for more severe weather. Andrew, over to you.
Yeah, Chesley, I mean, we are going to continue to have to keep a close eye on this afternoon. And again, our chance for severe weather, it is fairly low, but we just want to make sure everybody is aware and ready for the possibility for some of those stronger storms this afternoon. You see a lot of this is just a lot of heavy rainfall, at least for this moment. That's going to be the biggest issue for commuters as we continue our way throughout these next few hours here. So be ready for some of that heavy rainfall. But Chesley mentioned it a moment ago, how this system caused a lot of widespread severe weather further off to the west. Again, this is not what we're expecting here in North Georgia, but take a look at all these tornado icons that they had around central Mississippi, around that I-20 corridor, right towards Meridian, stretching further off towards the west, Meridian all the way up towards Scuba, and then off towards Jackson, Mississippi. You see a lot of tornado icons all throughout here. A lot of damaging wind icons too that you're seeing here. That's also just from yesterday. That doesn't include all the reports that they had out towards Texas as well, as this big system has kind of just swept down across the southern portion of the United States and now just kind of impacting us now. Thankfully, with much weaker storms here for North Georgia, at least at this moment. A lot of shower activity, but with that shower activity, we also have some strong winds, and those strong winds could end up causing a little bit of extra issues with us as well. Remember, we've had a lot of rainfall for the month of March so far here in North Georgia. We've actually already hit our average, our typical average for the amount of rainfall we get for the month of March just a few days ago. So that lets you know, well, the ground's really saturated. Now we're adding more moisture in there. And when we add a little bit of strong winds to go along with it, well, sometimes I can bring down a few trees. Right now, 12-mile-per-hour winds in Atlanta, 10 in Peachtree City, 10 in LaGrange. Those winds aren't too much to be worried about, but what we do have to keep a closer eye on is the gusts. Gusts right now at 22 miles per hour there in Peachtree City. We had about 23-mile-per-hour gusts in Atlanta earlier on. It's calmed down for now, but you see the stronger gusts in yellow here down towards the south of the metro. That will move off to the north, and then we'll see those gusts pick up a little bit more. I was checking the Georgia Power outage map just a moment ago, and kind of closer on towards East Cobb, it looked like there may be about 1,000 plus customers without power at the moment. So may have been caused by the weather. Of course, we can't confirm that just yet, but I would not doubt if weather started to play a little bit more of a role in the possibility for some power outages as we headed throughout today. Strong winds also will be felt by the drivers out there on the roads. Whenever you're out driving, you'll feel it kind of tugging your car just a little bit. Remember, both hands on the steering wheel, a lot of heavy rain. Make sure the headlights are on with those windshield wipers, and just let's continue to get throughout this morning with some of this rainfall, Chesley.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll be looking out this afternoon for another round of severe weather possible coming into our area. Again, the front itself still back off to the west as it continues to push to the east. We'll watch to see if anything happens to fire back up, but really the atmosphere could be worked over from the rain that we have out there this morning. So we'll be watching that. A little bit more likely for that severe weather to be, again, just to the east of the city of Atlanta and down to the southeast as well. And that's where we may see another round of that severe weather. Most of it has been down here to the far south, over the panhandle of Florida is where we've been seeing that. As far as the severe weather threat for us, we have a level 1 and a level 2. Now, keep in mind, yesterday we saw that level 4 threat that was for Louisiana and into Mississippi. Again, not that strong for us. We're down to a level 1, which mainly for our northwestern counties down to the city, and then just south of that, you got the level 2 threat. Damaging winds, a brief tornado, certainly possible. Let's go back over to Crash Clark, take another look at the roads.
All right, my friend. Yeah, we dealt with a lot of red alerts when we started things off. 2 tractor trailers jackknifing, one of them going right off the road into the trees on 75 South past Highway 92 up in Ackworth. That's all been cleared out of the way, so some good news there. But we're not quite done yet. We still have some delays across the top end perimeter. This wreck right here we're looking at on the right side there of your screen, which is in the left side of the road, is 285 eastbound past Georgia 400 in all that construction. So we're not quite done yet for folks in Sandy Springs. And of course, we're seeing some of that volume on 285 westbound as folks roll through Doraville. We do have some other problems out here. Let's take a little bit of a tour with the StormTrackers. This wreck sits mostly off to the right there on 75 southbound near Terra Boulevard. Again, that's southbound against the flow of traffic. Look on the right side of your screen. Those are northbounders coming up through Clayton County. So again, that volume is picking up. I think some folks kind of rode this out at home, which was great for you to heed the advice of our StormTrackers, but now they're getting on the roadways. And speaking of the roadways there, a little tough to see, but that is a spin out on 400 southbound near Windward Parkway. Mr. Chesley McNeil, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Crash Clark. We're going to walk you through what you can expect hour by hour. I like that slow fade right there. Nice slow fade. We're looking at, again, the rounds of heavy rain pushing through our forecast area for this morning at least. And so you're going to be dealing with that rain. And I know if you've been waiting at home thinking, okay, well, I'll just let it pass. You know, it's not that quick of a mover, folks. So we'll have these heavy rounds of rain that will continue to push through. Now, you can go out when it's lighter rather than heavier, right? And so look out for the heavy rounds of rain. They push us through. Once we get toward mid-morning, so around the 9:30, 10 o'clock hour, that's when we'll start to see more of the light rain around. We'll have just a few of those heavy pockets left over. But again, we have to look off to the west because we'll start to see this line begin to push through. Now, will that fire back up? That's going to be the question. That's what we've been talking about. And it's along this line that we could see winds in a few of these thunderstorms up to about 60 miles per hour. That's certainly possible as we head into the afternoon. So they'll have to watch out for that as that continues to push through. Now, it's a little bit more likely, I think, just to the east and southeast of the city for that to take place. Again, it'll be in a daytime heating by the time this line begins to push through. So for our westernmost counties, you're probably pretty much out of the severe weather threat, especially up to our north and west. We don't have to worry about that. Now, that continues to push through. We'll get some drier air that will work in here as we head into the evening. That's going to help to clear us out. Maybe get a little sunshine in a lot of spots before it sets, but it sets us up for a better looking day for tomorrow. Certainly it will be cooler behind the front as well. Remember, temperatures today will get up to about 74 degrees for a forecast high. Tomorrow, temperatures will only be in the 60s, and I think it's going to stay that way as we head into the upcoming weekend. Now, we'll get some few clouds pushing into the area as we head through the day. Thursday, and then again on Friday. Not looking for much in the way of rainfall, but I think we'll have a few clouds around by the afternoon on Friday, so we'll call it partly sunny skies. We're going to continue to monitor things all morning long. Keep in mind, there is the threat for severe weather as we head into the afternoon. We'll keep you updated right here, and also download our app. Folks, an easy or simple way that you can get the alerts right there to your phone. And it'll let you know if there's any severe weather in your particular area. And of course, we'll always break in to our programming here and also on the ATL if there's any severe weather in your area. We'll keep you alert and we'll keep you updated and hopefully keep you safe.